It is Wednesday, and that means it's time to turn up your volume and sit back to relax and listen live to the Steem Radio Show here on MSP Waves. My name is Poetic Snake, and as always, I am joined by Main Event. Good evening, Main Event. Are you with us?
Good evening, Poetic Snake, and welcome everyone to the Steem Radio Show here on MSPWaves Radio. It's
It
great.
is Wednesday already,
It is
17 May 2018.
16th for me still. It's
Oh, really?
it's your midnight, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Oh, yes.
That's right. It's only 6 p.m. here where I am. So it's still the 16th for me. It's the 17th for you. But either way, welcome everybody to the show. It's great to have you all here with us here on MSP Waves Radio. And a big shout out to everybody that's hanging out right now in the live audience chat. Kodak's just had his show right before us, and we are on the air now. And there, of course, will be another show after us as well with Saipan Damashi. There's shows all the time now here on MSP Waves. It's awesome. You can check out the full schedule at mspwaves.com. And we are the Steem Radio Show. And what this show is every single week we hang out here with different members of the Steem community. Don't we, Snekky?
Yes, we love to hang with them and learn all about what they're doing here on the platform.
We kind of get to know them a little bit better. We find out what brought them here in the first place and what they're doing here. You know, are they creating content? Are they curators? They might be Steem witnesses. Who knows? We have different people here each and every week, so always check back here with us on Wednesday nights. We're here from 10 to midnight UTC time, which is 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you would like to be a guest here on the show as well sometime, what would they do, Snekky?
They will have to shout really loud in the chat box. No, they can just send us a DM, either Main Event or myself, and we will have a chat about it, or they can leave a reply that they would like to be a guest on the show on one of the show posts that either you post or I post on Steemit.
We more or less welcome, anybody to join us here. It's kind of an open door here, so certainly let us know. We'd love to hear your Steem story. We may not always agree with what people do, after the fact if they join us here on the show. So, with that being said, try to, if you're going to come on the show, make sure you're not somebody who's going to be out there later, plagiarizing content or doing anything sketchy. So, because we certainly don't appreciate that. But if you're a genuine content creator, you're here to learn, you want to hang out with us and share your story or a project you're working on, certainly let us know. We'd be happy to have you here on the show with us.
Absolutely. The more the merrier, right?
Yes. We've had the privilege of, interviewing people from all over the world, so it doesn't matter, where you're from. You'd have to be speaking English, of course, because, that's the only language I can speak. I know Snekky can speak a few different languages.
Yes, that's correct, but not fluently, though.
Oh, okay. But yes, if you speak English, if you've got access to Discord voice chat here, because this is what we're using to do this chat today is Discord, so a big shout out, of course, to Discord. But yeah, just let us know. Send us a message on Discord, and we'd be happy to have you on the show. It'd be great to hear your story. We do have a few Steemians joining us here tonight, and, again, let us know. It'd be wonderful to have you here with us. Poetic Snake, how are you doing, and what's new with you? Anything exciting happening?
Oh, I am slithering fine, and today was a very, very happy day. Do you want to know why?
Absolutely.
I got mail today, special package delivered. I'm not sure. Should I share what's inside?
Depends. What was in it?
Well, I won a Steem round, and a silver Steem round from 2017, if I'm correct. And oh, it's so pretty. I've been looking with it every day, every hour, every minute. It's in my hand right now, and it's so pretty. It's like I want to scream, "My precious!" It's mine. I got it. I'm so happy.
So you got one of those fancy Steem silver rounds. Those are pretty awesome. I'm still kicking myself to this day for not buying some when they were released last year, because they are really cool. I think I collect a little bit of silver here and there, and I thought they were really beautiful, and that they had the Steam logo right on there, and it was just a cool way to commemorate that first real busy year of Steemit. I know it had been around the year before that as well, but it seemed like 2017 kind of was like a really big year for it. And those rounds were pretty cool. I thought they were pretty neat.
Oh yes, they really are. I'm looking at it right now, and there's a whale on it, and a few dolphins, and oh, many little fishies, and oh my God, I don't know. I'm just feeling like I'm in Steam heaven right now. And I won it on Hudson Shots from Johnny with leaving a reply. So certainly engage people. Take your chance if there's something to win, or participate, and you might win one too if someone is doing it again.
And this is our perfect opportunity to give our little disclaimer. Always do your own research for everything. Everything you hear is just our opinions. In fact, Snekky, I'll play your disclaimer. Is that all right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I will put my fingers in my ears, no problem. You are listening to the Steem Radio Show on MSPWaves. Everything you hear on this show is our opinion only, and should not be taken as financial advice or advice of any kind. This show is strictly for entertainment purposes only. MSPWaves Radio and its owners take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the talk show host or their guests. Statements or show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of the radio station. The material on the Steem Radio Show is provided for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research.
Yes, do your own research, everybody.
Yes, very important.
All right, and just a heads up, Poetic Snake and I are both fighting colds this week, so bear with us if you hear a slight little pause or whatnot. We might be taking a drink of water or possibly sneezing, so bear with us, folks.
You.
We're here with you, though. We're going to fight through it.
Yes. I'm going to try not to sneeze on air. It would be funny, though.
And so, yes, this show is just our opinions. So, again, you heard the disclaimer. But, yes, so Rondon is sharing the link to DLive. So, MSPWaves is now broadcasting also on DLive, which is really exciting and really cool. So, that way, this is now, kind of going out on the blockchain as well in real time. So that's really awesome. So if you haven't checked out DLive yet, that's a possible way you can kind of see how it works a little bit, is by visiting the MSPWaves Steemit profile. It's MSP-Waves, and they are broadcasting on DLive right now, which is pretty cool.
And are we going to do the webcam feed for this show as well?
I don't know, Snekky. We'll have to talk about it. We'll have to see if that's something we would like to do. I don't know if the audience really wants to look at me. I don't know. They might want to look at you, but I don't know about that.
We both have perfect radio faces. Our voices.
That was always the joke. You got a face for radio or whatever. So I think that's But I don't know. I wouldn't mind doing it. I'm not shy in that regard. We've done other live streams on DLive, where we did curation chats and things and showed our faces and stuff. So it really wouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah, I was in the beginnings. I was very shy to do that as well. But honestly, I don't care anymore. And Rondon is saying that you would do stuff to the camera.
No, I'm probably more shy than you are when it comes to like camera type things like that. But
really, I
don't mind the radio stuff. I like radio, but yeah. We could probably do that, though, especially where the show is going to be now on DLive. That would be, something extra where there's something, at least going on the screen or whatnot.
Yeah, I can always put Snekky on my hand and just pretend she's doing the radio show with you.
Yeah, people would probably like that.
I don't know. It's time to bring her back, I think.
We'll try it out some week. We'll have to practice, Rondon. But yeah, no, it's pretty cool that the radio station's on DLive now, and it's constantly growing and changing. So that's always a good thing. So check it out if you haven't yet. Of course, MSPWaves is part of the Ma1ne support project as well. That's a wonderful community as well on Discord where you can go there and network and learn and hang out and chat with different members of the Steem community. And you find them on Steemit. It's at Ma1ne support. But yes, so getting back to your contest, Snekky, so that was with Johnny, right? Johnny Clearwater.
Yes, Johnny Clearwater, and what you had to do was answer 3 questions that he also asked in the episode of Hots and Shots, and I did. I honestly answered them the best I could, and I won. I was very, very surprised by that because there were so many great entries as well. So I was really, really, really pleased that I won. And from the moment I knew, I was nervous and waiting to get it. And today it came. So yeah, it was a good day.
Well, congratulations. And yeah, we'll have to see what else is out there. I'm going to have to try to find one of those Steem rounds out there somewhere because they're all sold out from where they originally where they had them originally. I don't remember where it was. But I know, and then I think there's new ones coming out for this year too, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to have a new one as well. Well, while you're researching to get one, I can always put my webcam on and just show you all day that I have one.
Right? You know? Yeah, you can just make me jealous. I get it.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be fabulous? No, just kidding.
All right. So, again, welcome everybody. You're listening to the Steem Radio Show here on MSPWaves with Main Event and Poetic Snake.
That's me.
And why don't we go ahead and bring our first guest on the air, Snekky? What do you think?
Oh, yeah, I think that's a wonderful idea. Do you know who it is?
I do.
Oh.
All right, so we're going to welcome L&L Farms onto the radio show tonight. Welcome.
Hi, guys. How are you?
We are doing well. Go ahead, Snekky.
Yes, I was saying I'm slithering fine. And how are you doing today?
Wonderful. Thanks so much for having me on.
It is certainly wonderful to have you here with us. And tell us, whereabouts are you from in the world? Where are you this evening? What country?
We're in the United States, and we are in South Dakota, kind of near Mount Rushmore in the Black Hills Forest. So sort of in the middle of nowhere. We love it.
Well, that's really great. And how long have you been with us here on the Steem blockchain so far?
We started in January, I believe. And yeah, so I still feel very new, but it started to become very much I guess a second home in a way. We've gotten very involved in all sorts of different projects, but yeah, January is when we first started.
Now you say we, is it so there's 2 of you doing the kind of the blogging?
Yeah, well, my husband is Normock. He's been around MSP a little bit as well. He loves Ron Show. And he definitely gives information, we'll say. Most of the woodworking is all him. I just always seem to be the one writing and taking photos. So that's where my talent is. But yes, Normock is the one. He's the woodworking genius. He's the beekeeper. He is doing those sorts of things. And then I'm more of the herbal remedies, the photography, the baking. So we each have our part.
Well, that's really cool. And so tell us what you're doing on the Steem platform. What types of things are you sharing on your blog?
You know, we're sort of all over the place. We are homesteaders. Our goal is to make things instead of buy them. That's sort of our tagline. So over the last few years, we've really just been moving towards making things ourselves. So our first initial goal on Steemit was to share that information with others. You know, when you start to make things yourself, you have to wade through a lot of information, things that work, things that don't work, to actually get something, a good product that you could actually continue to use. And so our goal is really just to give people the information and the ability to make a good product without going through 20 fails. So yeah, just sharing the information that we've sort of found along the way to encourage other people to just take that first step.
And how do you feel like very welcomed here on the Steemit platform, or was it difficult to start, or kind of feelings you have with that?
Well, I think that on Steem, there's definitely a learning curve, right? I mean, when you first start, it's hard to figure it out in one way or the other.
Yeah.
I think that I found MSP, I think first on when I joined Discord, and that really opened a lot of doors for me. Definitely became a home, a little sanctuary where I picked up so much information and met a ton of really amazing people who still continue to support us today. So yeah, I think that for Steemit personally, I think communities are really important. And the first way to find those is joining Discord, and finding your niche, finding that group that you really seem to be able to get along with. It builds your village in a way. And we've been blessed to not only have MSP, but Helpy, which is Minnow and Petchy's project. And then also Curies. So we've got a lot of different homes where we feel pretty dang welcomed.
Yeah, the community aspect of the Steem blockchain and Steemit is really amazing. It's cool that there's so many different places for people to go, whether it's on Discord or wherever they're finding these sub communities. It's amazing that there are all these places where people can go and they can interact with like-minded individuals. Of course, not everyone's always going to agree, but it's just great that all these different communities exist, like Minnow Support Project, like you mentioned, and so many others. I'm looking in my Discord right now, and I think I'm in like 20 servers now or something. It's crazy.
No, it's true. And I think that really is what changed Steemit for me personally. Obviously, we're still sharing that information, but it became much more personal. And yeah, MSP is a great resource for that. There's amazing people here that I still have daily contact with. Even if I'm not in here chatting as often as I'd like to be, it's a busy time for us. But yeah, I think communities are really key, which when you first start, you don't realize there's so much that it really is a learning curve. And if you could get into those right communities, and like you said, not everybody agrees, but I think that there is a place for everyone. And we don't all have to agree. We can all agree to disagree. And I think that's perfectly acceptable as well.
Yes, for sure. Now, tell us a little bit about some of these things that you're sharing on your blog because they're pretty interesting. How did you get into doing the beehive stuff? Because that's pretty interesting.
Thank you. Well, we decided to keep bees. That was one of our first projects, I believe, when we got out to our property last year. And in the effort of just making things ourselves so we have a higher quality product, my husband went and looked at all the different designs of beehives that there were, and kind of grabbed the best features of all of them and improved them to fit our environment the best. We have a really harsh winter here, and I hear it all the time, nobody can keep bees through the winter here. So he actually designed this custom beehive where he upped the insulation value or the R value. And so our bees have been very happy over the winter. We've kept them all winter long, happy and healthy, and we've added 5 more beehives this year. So that's what you see there is our full tutorial on the beehives that we made this year from 100% pallet wood. So no material cost other than some wood glue. He planed all those down, made the lumber, and made the beehives himself. It's pretty impressive. I took the photos and I wrote it up. That's the extent that I have on the beehives. But yeah, we love bees. We love our bees. They are probably our favorite part of the homestead at this point.
I think it's rather impressive to see the difference in price as well. Like I see here a total of $410, and you guys made it for $15 per hive.
Yeah. No, beehives are not cheap, and honestly, even with the ones that I was comparing there, the quality just isn't the same. You're still gonna have to replace frames every year. You're gonna deal with issues, and so we got a much higher quality product as well, and saved a ton of money. So yeah, that's really our goal, is to show people how to do that themselves. And it also becomes an income for people. If individuals want to live off the land, but they need some money coming in, like us all, you can make these beehives and you can sell the honey. And my goodness, you could make quite a bit off just selling the excess honey from the hives.
I find that all really fascinating. I think it's really cool, and people are commenting in the audience chat right now about, the dream and wish of becoming a homesteader. And I know it's a lot of work. I mean, it's certainly a lot of work, but I'm sure it's so rewarding though to do all of this and then see, the bees hopefully doing well, and just your homestead in general. The pride and everything that goes into all that work must be pretty rewarding.
It really is. And I think it goes back to kind of our principles as or our ancestors used to do. I'm not using the right words there, but of being able to make things yourself and being able to work off the land and not have to depend on other individuals. It's a pretty rewarding feeling. And yes, I hear all the time that people wish that they could homestead. And one thing that I have to say about that is we didn't luck out. We didn't fall into it. We sacrificed for a few years, and I know this is a story I should probably tell one of these days, but it took a lot of sacrificing to be able to do what we wanted to do, and it's been more than worth it. And it just one step at a time. It gets very it's terrifying when you think of it as a whole big picture, but if you just find one thing to start doing, it becomes a lot more achievable.
And homesteaders always try to get 100% self-foreseeing, if I'm saying that correctly, like with Electra and stuff. How much are you guys?
How much as far as are we self-sustainable off the grid?
Yes.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
We are pretty well off the beaten path. We have our own septic, our own well water. The only thing that we're still on the grid for is partial electricity, which we're changing this year. My husband has a full solar setup design that he'll be doing, and I'm sure documenting, to make us completely off the grid, I guess is what you would call it. But yeah, we already do a lot of solar and battery things, as in we have an older post that we're about to do a revamp of our kids' toy car, the electric battery cars that he put a solar panel on, upgraded the batteries, and now we never have to plug it in. So just different things like that. We're always thinking that direction, unplugging, lowering our overhead, making things a little less expensive. So therefore we don't have to work as hard, I guess is a good way to put it.
Yeah, and that's all really cool too, because it's so amazing where this homesteading and everything is going with this technology too, like the solar and I've looked into like the tiny houses and all that kind of stuff. It's really fascinating where that whole world is growing and everything, where people are going back to their roots kind of and learning these things, and it's cool to see that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's the technology has helped people really achieve that without giving up the modern conveniences. We have this joke in our house that I would totally be fine with going back to oil lamps and just living like pioneers. And my husband says, but the internet's really nice. So we can still live off the land. We can still produce these things like our ancestors did, but we don't have to give up the information from the internet. We don't have to give up the technology that comes along with it, the power tools, all the things that make our life easier because of the new technology. So it's benefited homesteaders quite a bit.
Yeah, and that's a good way to look at it too. Like, you don't have to, it's probably a good thing to get away from, eating certain foods all the time and, just certain lifestyle choices and things, and then kind of going back to that, being outside more and just all these things. It's such a wide variety, homesteading, and there's so many things involved with it. But I just think it's really cool that you guys are doing that and that you're creating a blog about it on Steemit. I'm looking at some of the pictures that you've shared as well, and it's very beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, the photography thing has been something I just recently started sharing. I've always sort of liked photography, but didn't feel that posting it made any sense. And so lately I have been doing that more, and I think that it's fun to be able to see what our homestead looks like in a way. I think people are interested in that, and yeah, so we've been trying to add that in a little bit along with our recipes and different things. But yeah, we've been busy trying to get the garden together the last few weeks, so things have been a little hectic here, and we've been hatching chickens like crazy. So we have about 50 new chicks at the homestead right now, so that's been quite an adventure as well.
Are you going to eat them or?
Well, we're going to do both. The goal is always not to go to the grocery store, of course. I personally love our hens for eggs, and they are spoiled. I'm outside, and they're just roaming around me right now on the acreage, so they're very happy. We don't want too many roosters, and usually the roosters are the ones that end up in the freezer. But yes, I mean, the goal really is to not go to the grocery store. And the way that we look at it is, I know everybody has their own personal opinion on it, but we give them a good life. They don't suffer, and they provide nourishment for the family. So it is part of the homestead life.
Yes, absolutely. And I always romanticize it, I think, in my head, like Little House on the Prairie, I always say, I want to go back to that. And then I see the animals, and I eat meat. I'm a meat eater, but I don't know if I could, raise my own animals and then eat them, but I would, so it's really, I don't know how I will handle or react to that, but it's certainly something that's a dream for me to become a homesteader on a big piece of land.
Right. No, it's funny that was something that I always was concerned about as well. Animals they become part of your family, and that was something that I was concerned, especially with the children. But it's become, our goal is just to do everything we can for them beforehand. We have our favorites, and those favorites will never end up on the dinner table. That's just sort of how it works. But yeah, I think it's one of those things that it never gets easy. It's not a fun experience for me personally. I don't think it is for anybody here. But we try to do it in a quick and a humane manner and make sure that they are free to roam and have a very happy life up until that point. So that's sort of our own personal role or personal view on it. But yeah, there's still things, we talk about getting rabbits, and I just don't know, rabbits are so cute. I'm just not sure. So this is definitely a conversation that happens here as well. It's something that we deal with as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a rabbit, and I think he is looking at me right now. You're not going to eat me. Don't get weird ideas.
Right?
So you have a post here that I'm seeing, and you were asking what was your favorite part of homesteading. So we'll kind of ask you that question. What's your favorite part of being a homesteader?
Yeah, that was a really fun contest that one of the other homesteaders was running. For us, I think it's the freedom. To be honest, to kind of sum that up is the freedom to not have to go work for someone else. We both did that for years. The freedom to be able to know that every hour of sweat and blood and tears that goes into what we do comes back to us tenfold. And being able to really give that to our children. The L&L Farms is about the future and for our kids. And that's really the best part is we're producing something for the future, not just for right now, but for years to come. And that's my favorite part.
Yeah, and that's a really nice thing too, that you're going to hopefully, pass this all down to your kids, and then hopefully they can continue that tradition and even expand and have other farms, and who knows. That is really cool that you're doing that.
Thank you.
And of course, if anybody in the audience has questions for L&L Farms, you certainly can ask in the audience chat. That's who we're visiting with today is L&L Farms, and Snekky has shared the Steemit profile a couple of times. I'm sure she'll do that one more time right here.
Yeah, I just posted the post again.
Oh, it's okay. I didn't see. Oh, yes, you did. Yeah, okay. Yep. So it's right in the chat, everybody, if you want to check out the Steemit profile. And yes, lots of beautiful pictures from the homestead area that you've shared on Steemit. They're really nice, and it's cool to see other people's lives like that. That's one of the awesome things about Steemit and the Steem blockchain and these blogs and all this content that people are creating. You kind of get a window into these interesting lives, and you can actually reach out and connect with these people as well. So maybe if you're somebody who's interested in homesteading, you can kind of see what these guys are doing and check out their content that they're creating, and you might learn something.
Yeah, and we always try to put it in our post as well, that if anybody has any questions to do anything that we have shown, please contact us. That's our goal. So contact us. We'll help you in any way we can, whether that's try to get you resources or certain information, or just walk you through it step by step. So we're all about sharing and helping individuals grow and do the same thing as well.
All right. So yes, Snekky did just share the chat, the link to the profile in the chat. And again, if you're listening right now on maybe D Live, or if you're listening on MSPWaves.com, we are chatting right now on Discord in the Peace, Abundance, Liberty server, which is the home of the Minnow Support Project. So again, that's Peace, Abundance, Liberty on Discord. And certainly jump in the MSP Waves audience chat room. That's where we're hanging out right now. LL, it sounds like one of your chickens is making some kind of a noise there.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me. I had a blast. I really appreciate it.
Was there any other things that you want to kind of mention that you maybe have planned for your blog coming up, or any other? We always also give people a chance to give some shout outs. So if you've got any, other Steemians or groups or projects or anything you want to give a shout out to, you certainly can.
Wonderful. Yeah, we have a ton of stuff happening this year. It's just gotten to our busy time. So expect to see a lot more on beekeeping. We want to do some really interactive posts with videos and things of the whole process. It's something that's not extremely represented on the platform, so we do want to do that, along with the solar that we talked about earlier, gardening, just everything that's going on the homestead. As far as groups, Helpy is a wonderful initiative community that is about supporting individuals and teaching them the ins and outs of Steemit. So if you're interested in that, you can contact me. And also, I'm a big believer in Curie. Curie is my new passion as well. I've been curating for them, and they've made some big significant changes, as well as a filter to search Steemit in general, which we've never had before. And yeah, if you're interested in Curie and have any questions or want to support, contact me or get over to their server. And yeah, I think that's all I can think of.
Well, again, we'll ask anybody in the audience chat right now if they have any questions for you. I don't know if they had any before. We went off the air here, and so the chat kind of went wild with that for a minute. So if anybody has any more questions for L&L Farms, now's your chance. Feel free to ask away in the audience chat, or Poetic Snake, if you have any more questions also, you can certainly chime in as well. Let's see here. Now's your chance, guys. Hopefully people are still listening. I know that was, I'm still a little annoyed with that, but sorry about that, everybody.
It's live. It happens.
Live radio, as we say, right? Yeah, so I'll certainly go back after the fact and try to fix our recording, too, because unfortunately it crashed the whole thing, so that's kind of a bummer. But I will certainly do what I can to keep that going, so... All right, so Rondon says we're back, so that's good. So, and people are chiming in, talking about Curie, saying that that's been a good thing for them. So, yeah, no, it's always wonderful to hear all the different shout-outs that people give, because, like, every person has a different path that they take here. And it's always interesting to hear, which communities have helped these people or vice versa, and it's pretty cool. Come on, Scuzzy. Come on, Scuzzy.
Hey, that's a really great question. Type of furniture. Wow. Is a beehive a type of furniture? Can I use that to tie into my post?
Yeah. If you want to be a beehive, why not?
I want to be a beehive, yeah, or a picnic table. How about a picnic table is pretty cool too.
Picnic table, yeah, that's a pretty cool.
I don't know. Yeah, you can store honey in there, exactly. If you guys don't mind, I will put the link to that filter, the search tool in here, just because that has completely changed my life on Steemit. So if I can share that, they're still working on some bugs, but it might help anybody to actually look for the content that they want.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And once again, any more questions for our audience? That's a good picture, Rondon, right there.
Yeah, that's Normok right there.
That's crazy. So okay, yeah, all right. So yeah, we'll have to take a look at that link. Yep. People, if somebody's interested, they can take a look at that. You want to know if you've ever skydived?
No, I'm deathly afraid of heights, so no, never.
How many different types of animals do you have on the homestead so far?
We currently have chickens, we have the bees, and then we have our pup. So, and then this year we're going to be adding lambs. And gosh, I'm trying to talk Normock into alpaca because the material that from them is actually really amazing for knitting and things. So that is something we're starting on. Our area is very wooded. So even though we have the acreage, we can't keep it's not something for cattle. Even though a milk cow might happen so I can make some butter. But currently animals were sort of put on the back burner. We really wanted to get the food under control and make sure that we didn't have to go to the grocery store. So we just got on our homestead last March and we've been working since then. So more animals definitely in the future. The chickens are currently taking over. And yes, we will be adding more as soon as I can talk my husband into it.
Well, that'll certainly keep you busy if you guys do end
Yes.
up with all of those different animals and things. Right now, you got the birds and the bees, so that
exactly
that works.
all you need, right? And Scuzzy is full of questions. I love it.
Yeah, you only have to answer certain ones. You don't have to get
fine.
into too many.
I'm not offended,
topics.
or I'm a pretty open book. It's not legal here currently.
Yeah.
If it ever was, I would personally, for the medicinal purposes, topically. It's not something I partake in, but topically, it would be something that I would very much be interested in. If you look at blog past stuff, I'm very into herbal healing and make a lot of different ointments, and I would be all about it. If it's something that we're going to get in trouble for right now, we're going to stay away from. So that's my answer on that one. Yes, if it's legal, we would be on it.
Would you like to have a goat?
I would love to have a goat, but the only time I've ever had goat milk, I didn't like it. And I didn't like goat cheese. Now, I've been told that if you didn't get it fresh from the goat, it's not the same. But I'm not a big milk drinker. So for me, I want to make cheese and I want to make butter. And if I don't like the taste of it, I don't really want the animal. So that's the sheep was actually something that I looked into for that reason, is that sheep actually have a very different milk, similar to cow's milk. It's a very complex description, but their fat globules actually stick together better to make butter and cheese, and it's a more mild flavor. So that's where the sheep sort of came in.
And what about horse milk? Because I think that's upcoming too, right?
Horse milk? I haven't heard of horse milk. I guess that's possible.
Here in the Netherlands, maybe we are weird, but
is that what they do? I have never heard of milking a horse. I mean, clearly it's possible, but I just have never actually heard of individuals doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a total big farm here who is for horse milk, because it has something to do with people and children being allergic. And so there's something very different in horse milk, which makes it possible for them to still drink milk.
That's amazing. I'll have to look into that. I know that, we're all so used to drinking cow's milk from the store, and just the way that it's processed, it doesn't have the enzymes to help us break down the lactose. So that's where all these issues are coming from. So I know that raw milk, a lot of people say fixes those, but there are individuals that just don't process it well. We're not huge milk fans, but we love our butter and cheese. So we are always on the lookout for how to make those things instead of buying them as well.
Do you do much for like gardening and things on the homestead, or do you do much planting?
Yeah, we actually have been doing that the last week. Normock built this last year a big 100 by 100 square fenced in garden for us. We have quite a few deer here, so if we didn't have that, they would devour it. But yeah, we had pretty good success last year. We're at 6,000 feet elevation, so things are a little trickier. Last year I had 40 beautiful heirloom tomato plants from seed that we had babied, and we had just a random summer freeze come through and kill them all. So it is definitely something that we're still working on. A greenhouse is in the works. We're working on planting things that are better for our climate, but I really need some fresh tomatoes. So Normock is working on a solution for this. But yes, we do a lot of gardening. We just planted a bunch of cabbage and kale and lettuce and goodness, what else did we plant? All my herbs. I like to grow a lot of herbal things as well. And corn is going in. We've got a lot of stuff. Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff happening.
Well, it will certainly be cool to see all the different things that you turn into blog posts, too, to see your progress.
Yeah, that's the goal, is I try to document things, and sometimes I'm not so great about writing the blog out. I need to do better about doing that on a daily basis, but I'm getting there. But yes, we will be documenting everything and trying to share that with you guys. Yes, broccoli and Brussels sprouts. I forgot about those. And yeah, that's sort of the goal, just to share our life.
I have a very important question.
Okay.
Do you have room for Snekky?
Come on over.
Yeah, will you please kind of with your family adopt me?
Yes, we have a wonderful place for you. Get over here. We actually were talking about doing some sort of Mid-America meetup here, and everybody just camping out, and anybody who wants to come can come. So I know Kodak's is close. He's a few hours away from us, so he's coming. He's already said he is, so I'm holding him to his word. But yeah, we've been talking about that it would be sort of fun to meet anybody willing to drive here. But yeah, you're always welcome. Come on over.
Yeah, and it's also a marvelous way for people who don't live on the land or from the land to get, see how things go and experience it for at least a little while.
Yeah, definitely. Come see exactly how we started and what we're doing, and pick up any information you can. And yeah, we'll help you any way we can.
I'm coming.
And I just saw another question from Scuzzy, and that's actually a good one. Our first meal that we had completely sourced was probably the best, because it was an exciting time, and it was trout that we had gone to the local, just down the road and caught. And then we had Brussels sprouts from our garden. I think it was corn from our garden, and salad with cucumbers and tomatoes and all the goodies from the garden as well. So yeah, of course, not counting the oils and salt, etc. It was completely sourced by us, and that was a pretty great feeling.
Yeah, that I can imagine that would be. I can't say I've ever been able to do that. I've caught a fish and then, had to have other things with it and things. But yeah, to be able to say that you caught the fish, you grew the vegetables, all that is pretty cool. So congratulations to you guys that you've made it this far, and I certainly hope that it works out for you.
Thank you very much. We're having a blast along the way, just learning as we go.
All right, everybody. Any more questions for L&L Farms here before we let her go? Again, apologies for the technical difficulties earlier, but we're back here now. So if you got any more questions for her, certainly ask away. Now's your chance. Everybody thinks she needs to get a goat now.
I know, the fainting goats. I see that. They are so funny, but they actually make me sad when they faint. Yes, goats they'll probably happen. I'm partial to sheep at the moment, but goats are helpful, and they help keep down the weeds, and they'll probably find a place on the homestead one of these days.
Oh, and maybe a goose, as a guard dog.
A goose, yes. My husband has his eye on some giant geese that are bigger than our youngest son. So he really wants to get geese as well. For us, it's just about finding where to put them, I guess, is the structural. He built a really wonderful chicken coop this last year. And so, yeah, I think he just needs to build another enclosure for them. And then I'm sure geese will be happening shortly as well.
Yeah, my grandfather, he had geese as watchdogs, and they were just walking around the house. And actually, no one could come near the house when darkness fell, because they were just like raw, vicious.
Yeah, I've heard that about them. That, and then alpaca do the same, that they're very, very good watchdogs, that they actually will let you know anytime there's an issue, which is pretty amazing.
Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't know that. So that learn something every day, right? Well, that's cool. All right, last chance, everybody. Any more questions for L&L Farms? Certainly very cool to hear all about your homestead, and to see the videos and the pictures, and all the things you guys are sharing, and it's just really cool to see all of that. So it's going to be cool to follow you and to watch you guys progress on the homestead. I'm looking forward to that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm going to follow along as well because I'm very interested in building things yourself instead of buying it. I'm kind of not used to that. Here, everything is just, it's storable. Everybody buys stuff in my surrounding, and I'm kind of annoyed by it. And it's, yeah, it takes a while before you take the first step to do so. And I think that if I start to follow people who do that, I might take that step sooner.
Yeah, definitely. I think that is the one thing I hear so much, and it's that first step. And for us, it wasn't just an all or nothing. It started very simply by deciding I was going to, like we talked about, make bread instead of buying it, or, I'm going to make sauce instead of buying it, or something simple. And then once you do that, you sort of feel like you've conquered that and you can move on. For us, it was a lot of the toiletry items too, or beauty products, deodorants and lotions and things. And just one step at a time, conquer one once a month, and then move on. And that is how we did it. And it's, we're a few years in now and can proudly say that we've replaced all of our products in our bathroom with things I make. We make the majority of things that we eat on our own. Packaged goods are not really a place in our home. We still buy salt, we still buy oil, those sorts of things. But we've really, we've really been able to conquer that in a way. And it just started with one thing, just one thing. Don't focus on it all because it's very overwhelming. One thing, conquer that, and then you'll have the confidence to go on to something else.
Yeah, I think that's a marvelous idea. I might just start baking bread again.
You should. It's delicious.
Oh, it is. And the smell. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yes. Yes, it's true.
I think there's not 1 cent better than just fresh baked, coffee.
Coffee's pretty good too. Yeah, the baked bread doesn't last very long around here. So yes, we enjoy that.
All right, everybody. So we've been visiting tonight with L&L Farms. And the Steemit blog, it's just LL Farms, right? That's the username on Steemit?
Yes, at LL Farms, yes.
All right, so certainly check out the blog, and you can see more about the homestead and the homestead life. So certainly check it out. And LL Farms, we certainly appreciate you joining us tonight. Snekky, do you have any final words here?
Yes, I am. I pushed follow already, and I really enjoy reading about people who do the homesteading because it's a dream, and I hope to make it true one day. And I hope to be learning a lot from you guys. So I also hope that everything will work out. And it was marvelous to hear you talk about it.
Thank you so much. It was so fun talking with you guys today. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. And that again is L&L Farms, everybody. So thank you so much for joining us. All right, Snekky. So what'd you think of that? We even had a crisis there in the middle.
It was our first crisis. Yeah, I liked it. It was a marvelous person to talk with. And Normok is cool too in chat. So it was just amazing. I love learning about homesteading, but also the persons behind the account.
Yes, for sure. So yeah, check it out. And yes, Normok's in the chat as well. So the two of them together, I believe both on Steemit. So that's really cool too. I always love seeing like the Steemit couples. I think that's really cool because that's just another way, in my opinion, that relationships could hopefully stay closer in a way if you're both sharing those experiences. So that's really cool to see too.
Absolutely.
As long as there's not too much competition, right?
Well, competition is good, but not too much. That's right.
Yeah. I always think that's really neat, though, to see couples that are both on Steemit. I think that's really cool. But
it is.
Everybody, you are listening to the Steem Radio Show here with Ma1ne Event and Poetic Snake.
That's me.
And we certainly appreciate you sticking with us there through our little technical difficulty here. I'm not really sure what happened. I think I might have to update my OBS software or something maybe because it just kind of froze on me. That's the first time it's ever done that.
It's the aliens, I tell you.
We've been doing this show for over a year and that's never happened. So
over a year already?
Well, almost a year. I guess we're a little short of a year. I've been on Steemit a little over a year now.
Oh yes.
We still got a couple more months, I guess, before the show's anniversary. But yes, no, thank you for sticking with us there. Hopefully we're coming in loud and clear now. And, again, that was on my end, so sorry about that. All right, so we're coming up on the top of the hour here. We've got one more hour to go. We've got at least one more guest, possibly two. We had another guest who was going to jump on here, but I haven't heard back from them, so hopefully they're okay, and we'll hear from them later. So, but yeah, we'll bring our next guest here on in just a couple of minutes. But we always like taking a moment and going around the world. So, Snekky, do you mind helping me with that for a minute?
Yes, I mind. No, just kidding.
Okay.
So yes, we like to go around the world. So I'm going to ask you all, if you're listening and you are in the MSPWaves audience room, please tell us in what country you are and post the country, not the flag, because I don't recognize the flags. So I'm waiting for people to go typing. I see Pensive from Wales. Krim doesn't know where he is. Ma1ne is from the US. That Sweeney guy is from the USA too. I am from the Netherlands. And I see several people typing. LL Farms, United States, South Dakota. Maverick is in the Philippines. And Ronan is under Maine. Yes, that makes sense. Scussie is in North Fleisener. Crimson. I know that one. That's Canada. Canada. And I'm waiting for Joy Art to tell us where she is.
All right, I'm back.
Where did you go? Oh, from Nigeria. Welcome back, Maine. Did you get some water?
I did, yes.
Yay.
All right. Yeah, I'm looking back through all the places that everybody's from. Cool. It's great to have you all here with us. We certainly appreciate it, and it's cool to see. It's always just really neat to see all the different places that people listen from all over the world. I mean, it's fascinating. I'm here on the east coast of the USA. You're, of course, in the Netherlands. And look at all the different places.
Yeah, we are really traveling the world. In a way.
And as we mentioned earlier at the beginning of the show, if you want to join us as a guest sometime, we would certainly love to have you on the show with us. Just send myself, Main Event, or Poetic Snake a message on Discord, and you can join us on the show. It would be certainly great to have you here to tell us your Steam story. If you've got a project you're working on, or a community that you want to talk about, or just let us know. There's certainly a wide variety of things. We always, of course, encourage Steam witnesses to join us here on the show, because I think it's always good to hear their take and their aspect on things. So if you are a Steam witness and you're listening to the show and you want to join us sometime, definitely let us know. We'd be happy to have you here. Or if you're a community leader, if you're if one of these many Discord servers that we talk about here on the show, if you want to come on and talk about your community, certainly let us know. And yeah, so certainly would be wonderful to have you here, right, Snek?
Absolutely. I like having people on the show. It makes it fun, and I always enjoy every story. And sometimes people say, but my story is so boring, I have nothing to share. And I say, every story is different and we can learn from it anyway. So just join us. It's amazing to have an opportunity to talk about what you're doing and get some audience for that as well. So don't be shy. Just give us an inbox.
And another thing I've been trying to remember to mention too is if you're listening to the show, and of course you're somebody who posts on Steemit, if you're looking for an extra tag to use, go ahead and use the Steem Radio tag on Steemit. And that's a tag that Snek and I are both kind of trying to take a look at once in a while here to just kind of see the content from our listeners, the people who listen to the show. So I'll type it in the chat here. It's just hashtag Steem Radio. Everybody's talking about nachos.
I don't like nachos.
You don't?
People will hate me now. No, I just don't.
Yes, but yes, the tag Resteem Radio. That way we just kind of know it's somebody who actually listened to our show. That's what's kind of cool. So if you're ever just kind of looking for that fifth tag or whatnot to put on your post, Resteem Radio, and we'll try to take a look at it because Poetic Snack and I are both active curators on Steemit. We both curate with OCD, and you want to talk about the You Got Snack project that you're doing?
Absolutely do. I want to talk about that. You Got Snack is back, and yesterday I posted the second edition of the compilation post where I shared the links to people who got snacked. Manual curation is something that I really love, and even though there are a lot of curation projects that give huge upvotes and stuff, I don't think it should be the main goal to get a big vote. I believe that eyes on a post is what matters. So what I try to do is I give 100% upvote, but I also write a compilation post and tell people why they should check those people out, and I do that together with two curators at the moment. False Idols is one, and you curate for me as well. And yeah, I think it's cool to do. And next to that, I also do curation for OCD, which I really love doing. I think manual curation is just something that needs more and more and more attention.
Yeah, I agree. There's certainly plenty of people here who of course, they want to create content because they're hoping to get those rewards and all of these things, and that, of course, is one part of it. But the other part is actually going out there and reading and checking out other people's content and leaving them replies and votes and re-steams and all these things. I mean, in my opinion, it's like if you want people to do that for you, you probably, in my opinion, should be out there doing that for others as well. You can't, there's a lot of people I see here, they have Steam power and either they're just not using it or I don't know. I don't want to say it's like they don't know how to use it, but there's better ways to spread out your Steam power and your votes and all these things. And actually going out there and finding content that's original, it's not plagiarized, it's not copy pasta, it's not a what post, where there's only a couple of sentences and that's it. Try to help out those people who are actually genuinely out there creating good content. Actually leave them some feedback on their posts, leave them a reply. There's no guarantees that it will get you something in return, but it might. It might network you to that person. They might start looking at your content, and who knows where that could lead.
Yeah, and getting an upvote is cool. I will be the last person to say that getting a big upvote would not make me happy. It does bring a certain happiness when you're seen, no matter the amount of the upvote, in my opinion. So yeah, I love voting. I love reading the feed, and I love looking for new members who joined and give them a warm welcome. And giving that push on the vote button makes me even more happy than getting a vote. I don't know if that's normal, but that's what brings me even more. If I can help people gain followers, that makes me more happy than I gaining followers. It's just something, and I think that a lot of people on this platform are the same way. It's more social, more I don't know if I'm saying it correctly though.
Yeah, and I mean, I know our next guest is going to talk about curation a bit as well, so we'll kind of leave that for when they are on here in just a couple of minutes. But, I kind of wanted to take some time each week now that if we have time on the show to kind of, just kind of talk to new users. Because, of course, this show does air in the Minnow Support Project. It's on MSPWaves. So that community is there to help newer users and really anyone. And so, we see a lot of the same kind of questions a lot. How do I do better on Steemit? How do I get upvotes? How do I get followers? And, those questions are hard to answer because there is no right or wrong answer. But people will always have opinions. And, for us, that's why we like doing this show, is because we give people a chance to come on here and share how they did what they have done on Steemit, and they might be brand new people. They might have only been here a week, or they may be seasoned veterans that have been here for a really long time, and hearing all of those different experiences and perspectives and all of these things hopefully will help newer users if they're listening to this show. And and I hope they do, because that's kind of our goal here, is to share these experiences, to quote unquote re-steam them to you. It's kind of the idea of the show title, Steem Radio Show. And so if you are a new user that's listening, and you're wondering how you get new votes and all these things, just listen to these other people and what they're doing. And most of them are networking. They're sharing their experiences in communities, either it's on Discord or Steam.chat or wherever they're ending up. But they're making connections and, like LL said, building your village kind of online on the Steem blockchain. And, again, these are all just our opinions and our experiences. So you have to do your own research, as we say. You have to find out these things on your own. But these stories can help you. Don't you agree?
Yeah, and I also think that if you write, if you're sharing a content creator and you write from your heart and you write about something that you have a love for, something you like, instead of writing what you think people want to know, also makes it easier for you to keep writing. Because if you do something that you really love, people can read that in your post. It's written from the heart, or it's written just because it's written with no purpose. That's my opinion. That's what I do. It makes me feel good. It keeps me having joy in writing as well. And I think that's important too, just to follow your heart and write about stuff that you know about and you like. And next to having network connections, making friends, get to know people, join different Discord services, and connect with people. It gives a deeper meaning, and it's good.
Yeah, so, each week we'll try to kind of touch on a few things like that might be relevant to new users. But, kind of for this week, listen to some of these other Steemians, I guess. Listen. Like, people always want to immediately ask, how do I get the upvotes and all these things? Well, just kind of observe. Go look at the other people, okay? What are they posting about? What are they doing with their posts? The formatting. What are they... who's voting for them? Go look at the comments. What type of people are they? All these things. Reach out to people, ask questions. But simply, how do I get upvotes? Well, there's a lot more involved with that. You got to make sure you have tags. You got to make sure there's so much involved with that. But these different people can tell you their experiences and their stories, and hopefully you'll learn something from it. So, this is the Steem Radio Show here on MSPWaves. It's just after 7 o'clock here on the East Coast. It should be just after 11 UTC time. And again, we are here each and every Wednesday night from 10 to midnight UTC, which is 6 to 8 Eastern time, here on MSPWaves. And of course, you can find the full schedule of all the different radio shows and listen live on MSPWaves.com. And you can also listen now on DLive, which is pretty awesome. So just head over to MSPWaves' Steemit profile. It's MSP-Waves on Steemit. And they'll be posting their DLive links. And so you can certainly check that out and show some support if you're interested. We always appreciate that.
So we are live?
We are live on DLive.
We are live on DLive. I like that.
Or we were. Hopefully by me disconnecting, it didn't mess everything up. I don't know how that works on the other end, but we're back. We're back now. We're live again. So apologies again for the technical difficulties. I'm going to have to figure out how to combine the two parts of the show and everything into one video at the end. But we'll make it happen. So yes, if you missed any of the show tonight, I will be doing a post afterwards where I will share the recording of the show. the edited version. So put back together because we did crash for a second, but we're back. And so if you want to support the show, Snekky usually will do a post before the show, and then I'll usually post the recordings. So feel free to check those out. And, you know, we always appreciate re-steams and things like that. And if you think the show does a good job and what we do is a good job, you know, obviously delegations are always appreciated, and they go a long way to help other Steemians and things like that. So, you know, we appreciate all your support, your feedback, you know, all those types of things. So we really appreciate it.
Feedback is really, really appreciated.
Yes.
Because we might be doing this for a long time, but we can still learn, you know.
And speaking of feedback, I just remembered this. Let me go find it. So Pensive, who I believe was in the audience. Is Pensive still in the audience?
Yes, I see him in the audience.
So Pensive is doing a contest right now. And let me share it in the chat here. All right. So check that out if you're interested, everybody. And Pensive's in the audience chat right now if you have questions. But yes, so Pensive is doing this review contest, I believe. So you can talk about the different radio shows and let them know what you think of it. So check out that post, and you can read up more about that. And again, that's Pensive doing that. So pretty cool.
Absolutely, very, very cool. I re-steamed that post as well because I think it's you know, it's a good thing for the DJs to, you know, to read those things and see if they can either change something or add more, or, you know, vote re-steam radio.
But no, I think it's more about like reviews and feedback. So of course we do this on a week where our show crashes in the middle of it, right? So they're terrible.
Oh, they're terrible. They're so, don't listen.
We promise that doesn't happen like ever. That's literally the first time ever in all the shows we've ever done. So don't judge us too bad.
Like that.
Yes, Sweeney Guy says we get a -5 out of 10 for that. Yep. Yep.
Oh my God.
Hey, I'll admit it. It's terrible. It's a bad thing when you go off the air on the radio. It's not good. So sorry about that. We're on.
And we
it.
just blame Shane.
Yes, Shane has been blamed already. So.
Okay, good.
All right. Well, speaking of Sweeney Guy, why don't we go ahead and bring that Sweeney Guy, yes, on the air, because we were talking about curation, and I believe Sweeney Guy has a curation project they're going to talk about,
hey,
or at least one that
just gave us a -5, and then he's coming on the show.
We're going to call him out. No, we'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
All right, Sweeney Guy, can you hear us?
I sure can.
All right, welcome back to the show. You are a returning guest. It's that Sweeney Guy.
All right, give me 2 seconds to turn streaming mode back on so you don't hear beep boops, beep boops.
No problem.
Beep boops are not cool.
All right, much, much better.
All right, so yes, you're a returning guest.
I have a very ambitious manual curation project that I've been rolling around in my head for quite a while and haven't really put any action behind. I woke up this morning and I woke up on a human curation side of the bed, I suppose. I immediately started an account to get this project rolling, started a Discord to start onboarding members. I am going to be starting a project called the Curation Council. I will be taking on 1 or 2 curators from every single Steemit community I can find that has a Discord server with a post-promotion channel. The point is to feature every community that I can find once per week, and we'll feature 1 post from the post-promotion of that community. I hear far too often, well, who uses the post-promotion channels of a Discord anyway? What are they good for? You know, nobody even looks at that. They're just link dumps. And they really, really, really don't have to be. Those post-promotion channels were created for a purpose. And it's true that not enough people use them for their purpose. So I'm trying to recognize as much great content as I can. and at the same time bring attention to a lot of these communities that people may not know about. The plan in the long run is to get one curation article for every single day, and every day will have sort of a theme to it, and we will feature different communities that kind of fall into that theme. And like I said, one or two curators from every single community. Those curators would be required to find just one post out of the post promotion from their community per week and write maybe a paragraph about that post. A lot like you'll see in Snekky's post promotion channels on her Discord and the Steemit Ramble Discord. When you promote your own posts there, you have to give kind of an introduction to it, just 2 or 3 sentences about the post. And that's basically what I'll be having my curators do, is go find a post and introduce it. And I'll be compiling all of those summaries for those posts. And once per week, every community will get a spot on the on a curation council curation article.
Well, that sounds pretty interesting. That's pretty cool. And like you said, the post promotion channels, they don't have to be just link dumps. A lot of times they are. You know, I'm in a lot of Discord servers, and you know, I'll admit I post some links in those channels, and I don't know whether people vote me from them or not. I don't know. I do it. I've done it ever since I first joined Steemit. But it's cool that you're creating something that people will be encouraged to kind of dive into those channels and actually try to find some good posts in them as well. You know, I think that is really cool.
To me, post promotions can be one of the easiest ways to find really good content for specific communities, so long as they are being used correctly. So long as, you know, if the post promotion for the Steam Makers channel, if people are dumping links into that have nothing to do with making or do it yourself, then it gets kind of hard to find content. But in a way that it will encourage communities to kind of make their post promotion worth a little more, and it will encourage. Basically the whole idea is to spread awareness of both communities and great content. You know, spread awareness and get people connected to these communities that are out there that are most certainly looking for people that are going to become active within them.
And have you already chosen curators, or do you know what your process is going to be for that?
I've been talking to people all day long. I currently have 4 people who have volunteered to be curators for different communities. I think I have a counselor for the Slothicorn community, Whale Shares, the Airhawk Project, and the Steemit Free Lotteries community. But I'm looking for everybody. If someone wants to be a curator for Peace, Abundance, and Liberty, once per week, all you've got to do is go and find a post, share it with me. If you want to get involved, if you want to become a counselor, all you've got to do, DM me. I will put you through sort of an audition, and it's just basically exactly the type of work that I would ask you to do weekly. Go find a post in the promotion, share it to me with a summary in the DM, and if I like the way you're writing or the way that you're promoting that post, totally, I'll take you on as the curator for that community. And if we have multiple curators from different communities, each one will take a rotation. Once, say I have 2 communities for PAL, one will do the summary one week, and then the other would do the summary the next week, and they'll rotate back and forth. Curators would be paid a portion of the liquid post earnings for every post that goes out that they contribute to, and every post that gets featured in those articles would get a 100% upvote from the account that I've created for the project.
And some people are asking in the audience, you know, kind of how can they get involved, I guess? What would be, did you say you created a Discord for it?
I have, but I'm only onboarding people into that Discord as I onboard them as curators into the team, feel free to DM me if you're interested in becoming a counselor for a given community, any community that you're involved with. Come and talk to me in a DM, and we'll talk about getting you onboarded.
And are you looking, you're just kind of looking for maybe one from each, or how many different ones are you looking for?
I'm willing to take on, I really haven't set a limit, but in order to give everybody kind of regular participation, I think I'm only going to take on a maximum of 3 curators per community, but I'm just going to start at 1 or 2. I need at least 1 curator for every community that I can get connected with. And then the idea is to write a curation article every day that features different up to 10 communities so that I can give each one of those posts a 100% upvote. And then hopefully we've got 70 communities that we can feature every single week through 7 different articles.
Yeah, and that's really cool. And I mean, of course, those people don't speak for the community or whatnot, but they're actually going to go out there and look for posts from people in those communities, and that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, part of something that I've thought about a little bit is after I take on these initial curators, kind of getting connected with those communities and having them nominate curators from their community to become counselors for their community. And give that person an opportunity not only to represent their community through the council, but to earn money for doing so. I think after I get the first couple of curators for each community, I think I may leave it up to the communities themselves to add more curators to their seat on the council.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, and it helps connect everybody. And of course, when you're writing the posts, it will mention the community, so that's more, exposure for those different communities. And of course, the people writing the content, and hopefully that will equal more followers for the blogs. And it's these type of initiatives I always think are really nice to see, because it's people helping other people. And like you said, you have people volunteering, and I mean, yes, they might earn some rewards possibly, but I think the more the idea behind it, though, is to kind of help people and to expand your network here on the Steem blockchain.
Yeah, absolutely. Because these curators are certainly going to have their names put into these posts. This post was curated by such and such for the such and such community. So it's definitely going to give exposure to the individual people themselves, as well as the community and the author of the posts.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting thing, and I am certainly interested to working together with You Got Snacked.
That would be fantastic. We'd love to pull somebody out of the community that is willing to go through those channels on your server and find us one really good post every week.
Yeah, there are some amazing posts in there.
They really, really are. That curator's going to have a tough job.
Yeah, and people who want to get more into curation, I think that's a good thing, because we've talked about this on the show before. Sometimes people, they kind of start feeling pressured to post a lot. They see that they're getting a little bit of rewards and things, and so sometimes they get pressured to post, and maybe they're not posting things that are so great because of that. Don't feel pressured to post content. You actually could become a curator and actually go out there and help build your reputation in other ways, not just posting, but actually writing replies, leaving votes for people and expanding your network. So becoming a curator is a whole nother aspect of Steemit and the Steem blockchain besides creating content.
I completely agree. And they're really, really important to curators. Sharing content around the network, to me, is just as important as putting content onto the platform. It does no good for everybody to put content there if no one's sharing it around.
Right. I agree. And
yeah, I absolutely agree with that as well. Because if posts are not shared or not mentioned by others, it will not get you the eyes that you really, really want. It's a big community. There's the more people sharing or talking about it, the better it is. Even better than getting that vote.
Absolutely. To me, being featured or in a curation article, or having someone write a post randomly about your project or something that you've blogged about is way better to me than a $50 upvote from Curie. I would love Curie to come and drop a nice, huge reply from their curator. You know, this was really great, and here's why. Instead of that vote, I would take that any day.
Yes, genuine feedback is wonderful to see on the platform, and I don't think enough people do it. You get a lot of the, nice post. People will leave that on your blog or something like that, but if you actually take the time, if you read the post and there was something you liked about it, tell the author. This is your chance. That's what's great about this platform, is we have all these talented writers and creators and all of these things, and it's your chance to not only take in that content, but to, talk to the people who created it. I mean, they might not always reply, but at least let them know, and if they see your name on a consistent basis, leaving replies and things, more than likely they'll probably say something eventually.
Yeah, I completely agree. But then again, I mean, if you see a really nice, long, really well-formatted post and you just scroll the bottom really quick and you tell them how nice the post is, you might get a quick upvote, right?
It's possible. I mean, I know myself when I create content,
I know myself, but I believe that's a big part of the mentality. And I've been here for just over a year, and I've really, really tried to help a lot of the people that come in. Here's certainly not the best way. Nobody really knows. The best way is what's going to work best for you. There is no best way, secret formula to upvotes and followers that works for everyone. But there certainly are tips and tricks, certain things, and being confident and not making yourself seem desperate is one of those really big things that'll take you far.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I have seen people, they get frustrated and they'll be in the chats and they'll say, oh, nobody votes for me and things. And, try not to get discouraged out there if if you're creating posts and people aren't voting in and things. That just means you need to expand your network. You need to get yourself out there. You might need to promote yourself a little bit. Think of it, some people make it as an analogy that your blog is almost kind of like your business. And if you had a business, you'd have to promote it. You'd have to get the word out, right? And all these things. And that doesn't mean spamming, and that doesn't mean begging for votes and things. It means genuinely get into conversations. And if it comes up that you're talking about a gardening topic and you write gardening blogs, well, there's your opening right there to get in there and talk about it. And you can do that all the time.
I definitely see my Steemit blog as a business. This is my full-time job at this point. So yeah, I spend a certain amount of time putting out content with my business, and then I spend probably a larger portion of time letting people know about it and kind of marketing my business, because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I see it as my business as well. I do this full time. I'm a full-time steamer. It's hard at times. Yeah.
It really, really is hard sometimes. You've got some weeks where you'll do really, really well. You put out something good that somebody noticed and you did awesome. And then the next week, your posts might get buried and you didn't make enough. And then it puts you short on bills or groceries. And being a full-time steamer is certainly really rewarding, but I'd say more difficult than a regular steady job.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. When I was just working for a boss, I did my job and I got paid every month. And now it's just, waiting. And I'm in the position that I can do it. But yeah, it's hard, and you have to keep promoting yourself, even though it's not something that I really like. I don't even like talking about myself or about the things that I do to get promotion. It's I don't know. It's really hard, that part. I do it. I think I'm doing good so far, but yeah, it's not that easy.
I don't care too much for that part either. The overt advertising kind of kills my spirit. But I'm a certified inbound marketer, which more or less means that I dangle a carrot in front of someone's face until they make the decision to give that carrot a bite. I don't say, you definitely want this carrot, and here's why. Here's why you're gonna love this carrot once you take a bite of it.
Oh no, that would be a kill joy for me too.
And people are chiming in the chat, of course, with their thoughts and everything. And, there is no right answer to any of this stuff. Everybody's going to have, of course, different opinions, different experiences. Networking might not always work. And yes, sometimes, the whales do get big upvotes for posting things that aren't that great or whatnot in some people's opinion. But the same could go for other things too. So it's all part of the game, I guess. This whole ecosystem that we're in here, the Steem blockchain, it's complicated, and that's why it's so fascinating. It's forever evolving, and it's different all the time, and it's just it's incredible. And so once these different people are joining, then that adds different elements to it. But for now, you're going to probably have to do some of these things if you want your posts to get more votes and views and all these things. Is you kind of got to get out there and network and do these things. But for the curators, you can do that by being a curator. Also, you could be out there leaving replies and things like that, and that's getting your name out there and possibly people clicking on your blog and things. So there's so many different things you can do on the Steem blockchain to quote unquote promote yourself in different ways. It doesn't have to be blatantly spamming. It doesn't have to be any of these things. You can curate, you could chat in all these different communities. You could volunteer to do things, like for your example, for your project, they're volunteering to be curators, but I know in other communities they're always looking for people to help out with different projects. So volunteering is always a good thing. It's kind of like the same things in your own real life. You can broaden your own experiences in your own life by volunteering and doing these things. So think of that in a way too. Of course, if anybody has questions for that Sweeney guy from the audience, certainly let us know. And you can chime in if you've got questions about the curation project. Let's see here. Sweeney guy, are you still with me?
I am.
Okay. Are there other things you want to mention about the project or anything while you're here?
Just that it's probably going to be 2 or 3 weeks before we really start getting articles going, but during that 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to be looking for counselors for every community I can think of. If you know of any cool communities, I know L&L Farms mentioned Helpy. I've had someone else mention Helpy as well. Any community, any Discord that has a post promotion, if you want to be a counselor for that community, DM me, let me know, and I'll let you know where we're going from there.
All right, very cool. And Snekky's shared your blog link a few times in the chat. So people, if they're interested, they can certainly check that out or send you a message on Discord. And it's That Sweeney Guy. And Curation Council is the blog that he's created for this new group. So if that's something you're interested in, you can certainly check it out.
I love how that sounds, by the way. Curation Council. That sounds perfect.
I'm a word nerd. I'm real big on things like that. Like my super cool science shit. It's always got to be clever and wordy with me.
All right. So yes, no. If anybody else has any last questions, feel free to go ahead. Oh, and there's the link again. Yep.
Oh, yep.
Thank you so much.
Oops.
But Sweeney Guy, we'll certainly keep an eye on it. We'll check it out, and who knows, maybe Snekky and I might contribute some posts once in a while here.
That'd be fantastic. Yeah, Snekky, I was trying to think of the word. That term for a phrase where all the words start with the same letter is called an alliteration. Love them, love them, love them. I'm a word nerd.
I like word nerds. I think they're like magicians.
All right, everybody. Well, Snekky, any final thoughts here on the project and everything that we talked about?
Yeah, I'm really interested to see where this is going, and if you need any support, I will be there. Did we lose him?
I don't think so.
I'm sorry. I'm half listening to my 4-year-old in the background.
No
too.
problem. But
yeah, thanks for having me again. I'll be ready to come on the next time y'all are willing to have me.
Yeah, you'll have to check back here in a little later, and you can kind of give us an update on where how things are going.
Awesome.
All right. Well, that everybody, we'll give you a chance to say your goodbyes, Sweeney Guy. Any final words here?
Shout out to Snekky, Scuzzy. Love you guys. Maverick, I haven't talked to you in a while. Hope to get back connected with you. I know SFG's kind of taken the way of, many projects, but yeah, let's talk, bro. Let's get connected again.
All right, everybody. So that was our interview with that Sweeney Guy, and he's telling us all about the curation council that he's creating. So that's pretty exciting, don't you think, Snekky?
Oh, yes. I like curation projects. I have a deep love and passion for it. So maybe I'm biased. You say that, right? Biased?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I think there should be a lot more curation projects. So this is just something that I am going to follow with my eyes closed on it, because I like to see where it goes.
Yeah, I agree. It would be nice if there was some more curation support too. Things like that. I mean, it's great, of course, when people are delegating to projects and things like that, because, of course, those need it as well. But, support for curators would be nice to see too. I mean, there's obviously some people out there who do that, and so we're not discounting that at all. But, people who are known curators that are part of different groups and things like that, I would love to see them, getting some more support, because they're actually taking the time every day to go out there and find this content to share. And they're the ones kind of keeping things going as far as the content goes, because if people get discouraged because they're posting and they're not getting any feedback, well, they're going to stop posting, right? So it takes a group effort here. It takes, of course, the witnesses doing the infrastructure type things. We need the content creators posting. We need curators reading the content. We need, of course, people supporting financially of the infrastructure and all these things, investors and things. It is a group effort here for this whole thing to work, but each part needs its support.
Yes, absolutely. I could not agree more with you on that. I'm one of the lucky people who did get delegations for my You Got Snack project, and I hope that more curators will be in the same position, because other bigger users, or even the smaller users, if you work together, you can do so much. Curation is it's really, really important. One of the important things on a platform, because there are also other, important things, but curation is absolutely one of them.
Yes. And I'm trying to think if there's any other, kind of news things that happened this week or changes that happened, but I don't think so. I didn't see any updates or changes that I noticed. Did you notice anything this week?
Yeah, I got logged out of my account for some reason and it didn't work, but that has nothing to do with that. It just happened with my computer, so I don't think. No, I didn't see any changes. Not at all.
Huh. Yeah, I am excited to see where things are going to go as far as the Steemit website and the Steem blockchain. I mean, I know there's other things happening out there in crypto land. So we'll see how things progress here over the summer. And I'm certainly excited to be sharing more content lately. Now that it's our never-ending winter is finally over here, I'll finally be able to get outside more and do some photography and some vlogs and things like that. So I am certainly excited about that. And it'll be an interesting summer to kind of see what happens here with crypto and just everything.
Yeah, I'm kind of anxious to see where it all goes. Crypto is something still kind of new to me. It's not that I don't know anything about it, because, if you're on the Steemit platform, you will learn about it if you want it or not. I think there will be changes on the Steemit platform as well. I think a hard fork is coming as well. I'm not sure when, but I think there will be lots of changes over the coming months.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we aren't experts. We don't work for Steemit or anything like that, so we don't know when any of these things are happening, but we hope that it will still be here. I mean, we certainly enjoy our time here. I just celebrated a year on the platform last week. Snekky, you're coming up on, what, 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years.
And I mean, that's a lot of time to have spent somewhere. Our time is invested here, for sure.
Absolutely. When I joined, I didn't think that I would still be here, honestly, but I am, because it's just an amazing place to be.
Well, and like we talked about last week, I had no idea what I was even going to do here. I had no clue that it was going to turn into what it has for me, which has become doing these radio shows. I try to help out in different chat groups and things as much as I can. I do a lot of curation. It takes up a lot of time, but I like it. That's the good thing about it. It's rewarding. I enjoy it. Of course, everybody gets that steam burnout once in a while if you're doing too much or not sleeping enough, which is probably my problem. I don't sleep enough.
Oh, don't get me started. I 5-6 hours most a night, and that's long.
Yeah, get your sleep, everybody. You certainly will want that. Yeah.
Yeah.
People saying,
I buy
sleep?
matches, like super packs now to keep my eyes open.
Oh, jeez.
I want to have matches with the Steemit logo on it, so
Sweeney says that he hasn't found out what the steam burn is like. Yeah, it comes out of nowhere, really. It like will hit you one day. You'll be like, man, I'm tired and I got all this stuff to do, and but it's just it's just like anything. It's like your normal job or family life or whatever. You just got to push through it and remember all the good things, right? So if you're feeling stressed about whatever on the platform or whatnot, remember all the good things about it, the people and the connections, and who knows, I'm sure everybody has a story they can share. So.
I had a steam burn, like really, really, really bad, and I just I said, okay, this is it, I'm taking a break, and it did me good. And even during that break, that I said, I'm not going to write, I'm not going to read, I will not be on Discord, I still was. I didn't post, but I was still reading, still doing my curation, still doing the radio show with you. So it's also the people who pull you through when you have a steam burnout.
Yeah, and just take a break. That's all you got to do. I mean, there is this weird feeling sometimes some people get, and I've had it, where you just want to keep going here. Like Sweeney's saying, hustle, hustle, hustle. There is that drive that this platform creates for a lot of people. Maybe not everybody, but everybody seems to get that initial surge of they want to do something here, right? At least when they join, they're excited and they want to do something here, whether it's who knows what it could be. And
and there are so many opportunities. I mean, with writing apps, if you're a coder, no. I don't know the English name. If you can code and write apps and stuff, oh man, this is the place for you to be. And the opportunities are endless, and that also keeps people excited. And I wish I could do all those things too.
And if anybody in the audience has any projects they're working on or other things they want to mention, feel free to chime in the chat here, and we'll try to maybe kind of mention them briefly as we see them go by. We've got about 17 minutes left of the show here, and then we'll be handing it off to Saipan Damashi. And so for his show, it's DJ Damashi and the Dancing Dreamers. So if you like electronic dance music and the culture around that, he talks about that and shares some cool music as well. That's going to be coming up next here on MSPWaves Radio. Sweeney Guy is plugging the Steem House. So that's something you can check out. Utopian getting a shout out in the audience as well. That's one community I haven't had a chance to check out yet, but I do hear a lot of good things about it, is Utopian.
Yes. Yeah, I hear it a lot.
But yeah, no, if other people in the audience have anything you want to mention or shout outs, we could do a little shout out session here if you guys want. Give some shout outs to some Steemians in the audience here. Tag them. That way they know they got to come in here.
Oh my gosh.
No, you don't have to do that. I'm just kidding. It's going to happen though.
Oh yes.
Just don't tag at everyone. That's a big no-no.
Aw, thank you, Scuzzy.
Look at that. We got some shout outs right out of the gate.
Woo-hoo.
Yes, we appreciate all of you. We can kind of run down the list here of some of these names I see in the audience. I see Clayboyne, Crimson Clad, Diamond Rich. I see Grayland out there, L&L Farms, who joined us earlier on the show. Maverick. Do you want to do a few of them, Snekky?
Yeah, I see Menno, Normak, Pensive. I see Federico, the puppy, Feline, Rondon, who does a lot for MSP Waves, Scuzzy, and Space Stace as well.
It's Stace. She just got
Space
a cool name.
Stace.
She's got a cool name. Welcome back, Stace.
Yes, and Maverick is shamelessly plugging the promo mentors and promo Steem.
Yes, we have had Starkers on the show before talking about the Steem Ambassadors program, and we've had others talk about Promo Steem, and that is another great project that I certainly encourage you to check out too. There's people who are actually, they're going out and they're doing events in public, and they're talking about Steemit and Steem. And I think that's really cool that they have the ambition and the drive to want to do that. And it's, of course, sharing it with more people out there in the world, especially a lot of these other countries, in other places where, things like the Steem blockchain could be huge opportunities for them. They may not have other ways of, making money right now or sharing their voice even and making connections. And this blockchain is a wonderful opportunity for so many people around the world.
Yes. And that Sweeney guy is also sharing wheelchairs tomorrow with Freedom Exists. It's every Thursday and Sunday, if I'm correct. I don't know the times. I think it starts at 12 midnight my time. That would be 10 UPC, if I'm correct. And you can share your post there. It's an amazing show to be.
I think it's 1 a.m. UTC because it starts at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
Yeah, the time's always so confusing for me.
And there's so many wonderful shows like that. Shadow's Pub doing the Pimp Your Post and the Steemit Ramble, and there's so many cool little curation shows and projects and things like that where people can talk about what they're doing, and of course this show and many others, and they're all opportunities for you out there. People sometimes they wonder, like, what am I going to do here, and what do I do? And there's so many of these little opportunities. Well, go talk in this group, or go be on that show, or do this and that, and they're all opportunities for you.
Yeah, and I think the more communities you join, if you like to be in them, of course, the better it is for you. It's still, it all comes down to networking, and it might work better for others than. It's all different for everybody, but I think if you join the different groups, you can not only learn, but yeah, it's just good to do, I think.
And someone mentioned that Dracos just really noticed that we now have 1 million accounts on Steam.
Oh, that means that you should sing a song.
So see, that's another thing that happened on a Wednesday.
Oh, again, that's weird.
So congratulations to everybody on the Steem blockchain. There's now 1 million accounts. That's wild. And I mean, I don't know how many of those are actually active people. I mean, I know some people they've got multiple accounts for different projects and different things, but that's still awesome that it's a big milestone that there's finally 1 million accounts have been created. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yes.
I was gonna say if most people have even half as many accounts as I do, there's probably only about 200,000 active users. I have too many accounts to count at this point.
Yeah, and that's obviously a thing, and everybody's pretty well aware of that. But still, it's cool though that it's grown that big. As Graylin says, he's got one account. I only have one account too, bud. So, but people need them for different projects and for different things, and hey, that's okay. But it's still a big milestone. There's now 1 million. It's just something that the people who are out there promoting Steem can say. There's over 1 million accounts now on the platform. It's just a nice milestone.
Yeah, that's true. I have a few accounts as well. So yeah.
All right, so let's see here. I was trying to see if there's any more shout-outs or news here that I might have missed here. Yeah, Discord takes up a lot of time, Maverick. That's for sure. If you let it. I know it's hard too because you can get it on your phone, you can have it on your computer, you can take your Discord with you wherever, and then all of a sudden you're getting all these notifications from all these servers that you're in all the time. So you got to be careful of that. That you don't Discord too much. But it's a wonderful tool and a wonderful asset though for people on the Steem blockchain is Discord.
Hi, my name is Ma1ne Snekky, and I'm a Discord addict.
Yes.
It's not even a lie.
And so we got about 10 minutes left here. We do appreciate all of you taking the time to join us on the show. And as we mentioned earlier, we're always looking for feedback, and Pensive is doing a contest about feedback for the radio shows. I did share the link to that earlier, but if anybody needs me to share that again, I can. Let me go find it here. So certainly check that out because you can give some feedback for the radio shows, and I know they would all appreciate that.
Yes, feedback is so welcome.
There it is, right there. And again, I will be doing a post after the show where I'll share the recording of the show tonight. Of course, apologize for the technical difficulty there in the first hour. We were off the air for about 30 seconds or so. So sorry about that. I'll try to put the videos together and fix it. But I will be sharing that later on tonight in a post. So if you want to support us, Snekky has a post up right now that you can take a look at. And if you're interested, you can leave a comment on that or show it some love. And then I'll be doing a post later tonight with all the recording from the show. And as we did mention earlier as well, we're streaming on DLive now, or at least MSPWaves is. So you can check out those streams on the MSPWaves Steemit profile. It's just MSP-Waves on Steemit. So show some support for the radio station. And as Rondon just mentioned in the chat, if you want to subscribe to the show here on Discord, just leave an emoji, and on that link, or no, it's not really a link, but on the thing that he just put in the chat, and you will get notifications in Discord when we go live. So if that's something you would like,
nice.
Just put any emoji on that thing that he just left right there in the chat. And I believe all the radio shows have that now. So if if there's other radio shows that you like, you can always message the show hosts or message Rondon or even myself or any moderator, and they can give you the role for the shows. And then you'll get notifications, they come in handy because sometimes you might forget. It might be Wednesday.
Yeah.
Might be Wednesday, and they'll say, "Oh man, I was doing something else and I missed the radio show." Then
Yeah,
now.
well, it kept me from not being late here. I got a notification. Oh my God, I have to do a radio show. No.
Yes, notifications are always helpful, because
Yes,
people are
yes.
busy, right? They're on the Steem blockchain, they're doing stuff, they get busy.
Yeah, they get busy.
But we do thank all of you for joining us here tonight on the Steem Radio Show. We're here every Wednesday from 10 to midnight UTC time. And next week, I believe, right? It's next week, right, Snekky?
Yes,
Okay.
Absolutely next week.
Okay. So we have three Steemians joining us on the show. And they're going to talk about their project Planktown. So that's going to be pretty cool to learn more about that and to hear some of the voices and minds behind that project. So check that out next week. We'll have 3 of them all here to talk about it. And that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. I love plankton. And every time I have to say plankton right now, I say plankton. So you pointed that out, right? And it's true.
Yes, and I mean, I need to look more into it as well. I saw the first post that they did, and I need to check it out now and see what's happening with it. But yeah, and we're going to talk to them next week, hopefully, pending. The date could change, but as of right now, it's supposed to be next week. So certainly keep an eye on our blogs, and we will keep you updated on that, but that will be next week. So
yeah,
we're
going to talk with them all, and I'm so looking forward to it.
So check that out next week, and of course we are always looking for guests, so don't be shy, don't be bashful. We hear all the time, oh, well, my story's boring, or I have nothing to talk about, or something to that effect. And, don't be shy, don't be bashful. Everybody's story matters. Every voice should be heard here. So let us know, and we'd be happy to bring you on the show, even if it's just for 5 or 10 minutes, just to talk to you a little bit. It's a great chance for you to get your name out there, too, into the community a little bit, and people can kind of hear your voice, learn a little more about you. And for me, and I know you agree, Snekky, that when you do that, when you hear people's voices and you kind of learn a little bit more about them, then when you read their content, it's like, oh, okay, well, I understand this person's personality a little more as well, not just words on a screen.
That too. And I also, some people have very interesting voices, and if I heard them, when I read their post, I read it in their voice. That's amazing. I like that.
So yes, join us on the show, and we'd be happy to have you here. So just send us a message on Discord or leave a comment on one of our posts, and we'd be happy to have you on.
Yes.
We are looking to expand on the show a little bit, just so we don't always do interviews. I mean, the interviews are fun, and they're certainly wonderful to hear, but we're going to try to expand on that a little bit and start talking about different topics and things. So if you have ideas for that, certainly let us know. If you think there's different segments we should do or different topics we should talk about on the show that are kind of related to the Steem blockchain or, Ma1ne support project or, any of these different communities and things like that, certainly let us know, and we'd be happy to try to integrate that into the show possibly.
Yeah, that would be great.
So Snekky, we're running down the time here. We're almost done. Any parting words here? Yes.
Yes. Can I shamelessly promote You Got Snacked Discord?
Yes. And that is
Please join You Got Snacked on Discord.
That is your curation project. So
yes.
That's another good community to check out if people are interested. I did my first nomination this week, so pretty cool.
Yeah, you did.
I'm curating for 3 groups again. So I'm curating with OCD, with Ma1ne Support Project, and now with yours. You Got Snacked. So.
Yes, and I'm still looking for 2 or 3 more curators. So if you're interested, send me a DM.
Awesome. All right, everybody. So yeah, keep an eye on our blogs. We do a lot of different content. I do photography. I do some gaming live streams. A lot of different things on my blog. And then Snekky, you do a lot of cool stuff. What are some of the things you like to post about?
At the moment, I post about the curation, but also still my artworks, my creative, things that I like to do, drawings, paintings, stuff like that.
So certainly give us a follow. Snekky, if you want to put our Steam blogs in the chat, go right ahead.
Yeah, just did.
Perfect. And again, check out Pensif's post that he did if that's something you're interested in. And as always, check out the full schedule of all the radio shows on MSP Waves by visiting mspwaves.com. And certainly check out the Minnow Support Project if you haven't yet on Steemit. It's at Minnow Support. That will give you a link to the Peace, Abundance, Liberty server, which we're chatting in right now. Great community for you to check out, in my opinion. And let's see here. Let me get my last little disclaimer we got to say here before the show ends. If I can find it. Here we go. All right. So, of course, everything you heard tonight was strictly just our opinions. We are not financial experts whatsoever, so don't take anything you hear on this show as any kind of financial advice at all. This is strictly for entertainment purposes only. MSPWaves Radio and its owners take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by talk show hosts or their guests. Statements and show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of the radio station, and the material you hear on the Steem Radio Show is provided for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only.
Always do your own research.
Yes. Thank you all so much for joining us here on the Steem Radio Show. Again, we're here Wednesday nights live from 10 to midnight UTC, and we do share the recordings on Steemit and YouTube. Have a great night, everybody, and we will see you next time here on MSP Waves. Have a great night.